Keep the version 2 Hightower at 150 travel in the front, or take it up to 160. That's the debate. So I've been riding the version 2 Hightower for just under a year now, like it's my job. Super phenomenal bike. For context, you definitely want to check out my version 2 Hightower review video, where I talk about all the positive aspects and how much I love the Hightower, but my one gripe was a lack of progressivity in the rear suspension. So I, like many other Hightower owners, upgraded to the Cascade Components aftermarket lower link. Super legit upgrade. You also want to check out that install and review video where I go in depth at exactly what that does, but in short, it significantly increased the progressivity, thus making the bottom out resistance much greater, but it also takes the rear travel from 140 to 150. In addition to that, it actually slightly lowers the bottom bracket. Because of that, many riders, myself included, are curious about what the impact then would be to take the front fork from 150 to 160 travel. Now again, with the Cascade link, we're now sitting at 150 in the rear, 150 up front. And to be honest, it feels as balanced as it sounds. I've had very little complaints about this setup, but like everyone else, I'm looking to get the absolute most performance out of my shred sled, and so why not try it and see? It's a super cheap upgrade. Actually, if you're running a RockShox like me, all you need is this $42 part. It's the air spring. I actually picked this one up used on eBay for $25. As you can see, this is the old Debonair air spring. I've already installed the 2021 Debonair air spring. Check out my install and review video of that. So I think many Hightower owners are curious to know, by going from 150 to 160, a few key things. One is the snappiness that the Hightower is known for. Is it lost in this upgrade? Is the climbing performance affected? Cornering, is the cornering negatively impacted by having the front end up higher? Are the pedal strikes actually decreased by raising the front end up? And then is the increase in downhill performance actually noticeable by going from 150 to 160? Is it worth the upgrade? In this position, I'm going to measure the bottom of these one-up pedals. I'm measuring 6 3/8 inches exactly. So again, I've already got a video on actually how to do this service. For fun, I'm gonna time myself and see how quickly I can get it done. So here we go. "24 minutes, 50 seconds. Not horrible. Now the bottom of the pedal is about 6 5/8. So I've been riding now since the 160 air spring upgrade for about 3 weeks. And I've just all but forgotten about it each time I get on the bike, which I think is really a testament to being a relatively mild upgrade. But my overall impressions are definitely a good one. I definitely think that it's something that most Hightower owners should consider. Now this is a climb that is super steep. It may not reflect in camera. I see a lot of people not even be able to get this climb. Just to show you, and it's wet by the way, just to show you that you can definitely still climb with the 160 spring. So this is what most would consider just a general trail ride. Just some good single track riding, which is exactly the area where I think a lot of people are curious about going to 160 spring. So they don't want to just lose that efficiency that you get with maybe choosing the Hightower over, say, the Mega Tower. And I just really don't find myself thinking about it on just these general trail rides. So here's a climb that's pretty tough on, especially this section right here, because this is super steep and loose. You can't afford to take traction from your rear to give it to the front. And so if the front was wandering too much, you really just couldn't get it done. Here's a really tight sort of switchback. No problem there. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, if I can still do that with the 160 spring, the Hightower is still everything I need it to be. And I'll just remind you again that this is alongside a lower leg service, which RockShox, for one, recommends to do every 20 hours of riding. None of us do it that often, but it is a point of maintenance that should really be done pretty often. But it's really not like a super permanent upgrade. Be sure that you ride it for a week or two, because change is always different. And then if you still just hate it, you've still done a nice service to your fork, which needs to be done anyway. Now here's a steep switchback climb. This will be the epitome of where too tall front end would get you in trouble. Didn't feel like it was negatively impacted at all. So we're gonna nail into high roller flow trail. It's definitely not a technical trail, but it is a fast trail. We want to see if raising the bottom bracket up has made this thing lose its efficiency in any way. So far, so good. There's a nice off-camber turn. Didn't feel bad at all. Man, it's feeling really good. Definitely doesn't seem like it's any worse for the wear, that's for sure. So I definitely don't think anybody's gonna be disappointed in the way the 160 spring feels whenever the trail points downhill. Then when things get really rowdy, drops start getting bigger, you're definitely going to appreciate the spring. Even like up out of the saddle sprints, I don't feel any decreased efficiency. You might actually manual better. Just kidding. It's worth noting that for me personally, cornering is probably the thing that I'm the worst at, and so I would not tolerate an upgrade that made me even worse at it. Yeah. Woo! Slickwood. Yeah, for me, I'm loving it. So for me, it's 164 for the win. I've actually upped the travel on several previous bikes. I've rarely noticed any ill effects, but I've generally always appreciated the increased capability. That's been no exception on the version 2 Hightower. It especially pairs up nicely with the Cascade Components lower link. I do not feel like my climbing ability has been compromised. Cornering still feels really good. I have noticed in the trails where you would even notice it that there is a decrease in the propensity to pedal striking. And certainly the downhill capability has a noticeable improvement. It's not an insane change, which again I think is a relatively good thing, but it's a subtle change that is a change for the better. I hope you found this helpful. Again, if you need to know how to do this upgrade, check out my how-to lower leg service and air spring change. So is the 164 gonna help you win your next EWS race? Yeah. Please give this video a like. If you've not done so, definitely subscribe to the channel. Even turn on those notifications. I'm trying to bring you new uploads every week. This is a quick shout out to all the supporters. I recently hit over 1,000 subscribers. I greatly appreciate all the views, all the shout outs, all the comments. I hope you'll keep that coming. As always, thanks for watching.